Hello, welcome back. My name is Laura and this is Wicked Plans. If you are new here, please join me in my little, my little planning journey here of trying to find planner peace. That seems like such an odd thing to say, planner peace, but I have found it, I feel like, in my big. I am really feeling it. So I'm going to be working on my planner for my health and fitness section in my planner. So I have this section which is going to be used for meal log, exercise, pretty much anything that comes with my health. I would mark down, like if I have migraines, I'm going to mark any other kind of like pain things that I really feel like I should keep track of. Any of that kind of stuff is going into these pages. This is the color block layout, and I section it off into a few sections for my meals. So I do breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm not putting in snack currently. We're gonna see. Right now, knowing me and knowing my life, I don't snack. With work, which this is what this would be, I don't really have time to snack. On the weekends, if I do snack, I usually am waking up later, so I'm not eating a meal like breakfast per se. So I would have, like probably the breakfast section could then be when I wake up and would be whatever I ate at that moment, and then lunch could be, and so on. So I'm not super worried about that mindset of things, I guess is how I'd put it. So I am using red. So my last few weeks I realized were very monochromatic. My first spread from January, which I didn't even start, I just decided I was going to track. I was just gonna use it even though we are not starting till the 8th, because I go back to work on the 8th. Everything is pretty much normal in my life starting on the 8th. So the 8th is going to be my first week. This is the week of the 15th. So this will be the second week. So I'm trying to keep things. This would be the second week of doing my fitness journey, like full on. So I have what I separated into breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then workout, which haven't gotten there, haven't done at all. Let me go ahead and flip this because I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I do it this way, and I will separate. I'll put a line here so that way this whole thing remains working out. These sections down here are more like my symptom tracker type sections. So I will mark this part off, but it could be decorative. If I want it to, like if I find myself at the end of the week not really filling it in much and I want to make it more decorative, then I can go in and do that and add some decoration to it. I can put some motivational quotes. I can do like any little types of things down there that I want. But for right now, I am leaving it open. I've just been tracking like my steps. Again, I'm on vacation. So I've just been trying to track some steps down in the lower part. I've just been marking in, since I'm clearly not going to the gym. I did a household deep clean here where I was like, I was on the floor doing baseboard, scrubbing, doing all of the things. So I put it in because it is physical. It's not at a gym, but it is some physical labor. So more than I would be doing if I didn't do anything. Since there was nothing, I just threw in some sections here. I did sleep in up here, so I just kind of decorated and filled it in. But for the most part, this is kind of my layout. Now, since this one was all blue, and then the week to come is kind of a purple, I figured I would then make my next one red. And then I would probably do orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and I would just keep going like that. And it'll give me a way to kind of use up some of my older stickers that I don't really have a purpose for, or at least I feel like I don't have a purpose for anymore. Because a lot of the stuff I do is not necessarily this bright and colorful. So I kind of thought maybe it would help just thin down some of my sticker hoard. So I'm going to use this pen, which I think is getting low because it's not doing as good of a job. Well, there, it's a little better now. just to color over my day of the week numbers or letters here. I mean, oh, I gotta sneeze. I don't know what it is in this room. At this desk when I sit down, I always have to sneeze. It's like every time. Or maybe it's the camera. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I really could not tell you. All right, so this book here, I love, 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 love. This is an Agenda 52 book with dates and what's it called? Numbers and days. Love this book. I think it is amazing on so many levels. I'm going to use these red day dates up here. I think I've used them so far for the first week. I don't know if I use these for the second week. Now, I may cover up the numbers. I'm not sure. But first, I'm going to go through with the days. And then I have these numbers printed off, and I am obsessed with these numbers. I think they are so freaking cute. I need to kind of crop down each section so I can make them bigger, because I would love them bigger. This is the biggest they print, is right here. And these are from I Love to Print. It was $1. Something, I think, with her discount. So I thought about, problem is I don't have a ton of the reds. Like, these would be all different. So I'd have to print a couple sheets. So maybe I won't do that. I've just been doing it like this. So I think I might just keep it like that. So I have my breakfast, lunch, dinner. I have my workout section. Let me do my other page. And then over here, I usually add some sort of decoration to kind of pull it together in that column. So let me put that one over to the side. Let's get washi down on this side. And anybody else use this planner, or, so this is the color block, or my original plan was to use the teacher planner for my meal planning. And then after setting it up, I kind of, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. I tried to use it just like I did the week that I'm currently working on, this first week of January. I tried to kind of, you know, pre-do that last week of like December in it. And I just wasn't liking it. I don't know. If it's not decorative and I'm not, this is very crooked. If it's not decorative and I'm not feeling like inspired, I'm going to screw. This washi's kind of old, so it's not sticking super duper well. So unfortunately, if I mess up, it's got to go. Yeah, that's a little better. Still looks very weird at the end here. So I tried it and I filled it in, but I think because I am a teacher and I use the teacher layout for work, I was just kind of on the struggle bus with it. I wasn't liking it. It wasn't doing what I wanted. If it's not decorative, as idiotic as this sounds, maybe I'm the only one, but if it's not decorative, it's so hard for me to just like want to come back to it. I don't know. I need that, like that beautifulness, I guess, to want to look at, to want to come back. If it's just like a plain journal with nothing in it, I'm not going to want to write in it. If it's plain anything, I'm just not going to want to do it. So knowing myself, I don't know where I was. Maybe I was at Joann's, because I did end up getting some freebies from there. And I think when I went there, they had one color block on the shelf, big, because I do like my big, and I would prefer my catch-all pages to all fit in the big, because I also originally planned to do my journal in my meal planning, kind of like a whole health kind of thing in one book, which was going to be a classic. So the problem with that was that I was then carrying two around, because I really kind of need this throughout the day to fill things in. I tend to get a lot of migraines at work, and sometimes it's after eating certain things. I have PCOS, I have headaches, I have a lot of, health related things. And, I don't know if it's me or if it's like everybody, but I feel like lately the doctors just say, this is it, bye. Like, there's no help to fix it. My whole life, I went with such painful menstrual cramps, and nobody bothered to try to prescribe anything to help. There was like nothing. I didn't even know I was in labor with my son when I was in labor with my son. I kind of rolled with the punches until it came to waking up for work. And so I'm talking like a good maybe 8 or 9 hours. I was already in labor, completely unaware, because my cramps were so bad. And the next day I just woke up. I was so tired when I finally crawled out of bed, and I was just like, I was miserable because the cramps were so nonstop. And I'd called in, and, you know, I kind of got the shaft from whatever doctor was on call, you know, oh, you're fine. It's just probably Braxton Hicks. Call us later. And then, like, you know, we hung up and realized that, like, my cramps were 4 minutes apart, and we probably needed to be a little more proactive there instead of just not worrying about it. So, I mean, it's just, it kind of sucks being dismissed. And I think a lot of times I am dismissed by doctors just because of my weight. I was a prednisone kid my entire life as a child. So my very crucial growing years, I took some pretty high doses of prednisone to help kind of combat the asthma problems that I had. Worked out for me when I played softball because I could crank the shit out of that ball. I mean, you want to talk about home run. I would hit the ball over the fence like it was nothing. It was ridiculous. And honestly, it's probably because I was on so many damn steroids, but it was just, it's hard. My mom dealt with it when I was little. They would tell her that, you know, I was just looking for attention. So my asthma wasn't real. I was just trying to get attention. So my mom would like record me just sick as shit all night long just to try to get me help. I mean, it was just constantly being dismissed. And I feel like even as an adult, I still find myself being dismissed. We were very fortunate to get pregnant with my son real fast. How old was I? 24, 20? No, I had to be older than that. I was almost 30 when we had my son. I was 27, 28. And I remember we were discussing it. One of my good friends at the time was like, you know, we wanted to have kids, her husband and her. She's like, we discussed, you know, that we were ready. And she goes, it took years. So in my head, I was thinking, it's going to take years. Like, this is going to take forever. So let's start now, because I'm not prepared at all for children. So we did. We started literally, bada boom, bada bang. We were pregnant with my son almost immediately. After having him, I ended up being told that I had something called second child infertility, which is wackadoodle. So I basically couldn't get pregnant. We tried several different things outside of actual in vitro. That was definitely off the table in my opinion. Not for anything other than insurance wouldn't cover it. My son had already brought us quite a few medical bills when he was born. He had a couple health conditions, and I just didn't see putting the money into it. In my opinion, if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. There's only so much fight I feel like you have before you kind of just are like accepting of what you have, which for me, that was about it. I was pretty much accepting it later, like around that, you know, around the time when I was diagnosed with this second child infertility, and my PCOS was they finally came up with that I had PCOS, and that was kind of explaining a lot of my issues. When I was pregnant with my son, I was extremely sick. I don't know how you pronounce it. I never understood it. Hyperemesis or hypermesis. I had two doctors pronounce it two different ways, which was really weird for me, because then I was like, well, now wait a minute. Like, how is it pronounced? But it is basically where you puke nonstop your entire pregnancy. So I had that little bit of loveliness, and it was brutal. It was very brutal being pregnant. So I really kind of talked myself out of having a second child anyway, because the possibility of having that for every pregnancy is very high. And I was miserable. I was very miserable. I had bruised ribs. There were many times I thought I had broken ribs. So we were in the hospital quite a bit just to double check that I wasn't super dehydrated. It wasn't fun. It was nothing fun about being pregnant. It was all about, you know, the end result of having my son. That was really the part that did it for me, but not the pregnancy part. That part was just freaking awful. But where I was going with all of this rambling was just that I just never ever got help until I was an adult. I was pretty much gaslit into thinking that, you're fine. Or you're too young, or exercise, or do this. And I'm sorry, for chunky people, sometimes exercise isn't the answer. I am not somebody who sits around and just eats all day. I actually do quite a bit of stuff. I was very active as a child. I played a lot of sports. I was on a traveling softball team. I did a lot. And I had problems back then too. And that was because of the prednisone. The prednisone fueled a constant need to want to eat. When you are taking prednisone, you're hungry all the freaking time on prednisone. I always joke that having a teenage boy and him being on prednisone because he has asthma too, I'm like, oh, good Lord. Like, we have a preteen that's on prednisone. We are like effed in the A right now. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to afford groceries whenever this kid gets put on prednisone. So, and it's rough. So the whole point of my health journey is to try to really narrow down and track my symptoms to the point where I can't just be gaslit into thinking that I'm fine. I hate that. There's moments where I'm not fine. There's moments where I really do need some sort of freaking assistance when it comes to medicine of some kind. Like, it's hard. So the bottom section, that's kind of my goal for that, is this top part. If I have a headache, if I'm not feeling good, if I am nauseous, I do get a lot of, since being pregnant with my son, I have a lot of moments where I will just go throw up for no reason. And they've checked out my gallbladder, they've checked out my thyroid, and everything comes back fine. Well, I'm sorry, you can't be fine when these things are happening. I feel like I've done enough. I've gone to enough, specialists. And it's like, you pay the specialist, but then what does the specialist do? Because some of them don't do anything. Some of them do too much. Some of them don't do enough. So it's just trying to find some sort of balance in this journey. I have done numerous diets. I've even looked into the weight loss surgery, and then I just didn't go through with it because my insurance doesn't cover it. And I can't afford, which is odd enough, like, I'm okay, they're okay forking the bills for, all the medicines I have to take when I get sick, but, they don't want to help cover a surgery that could potentially help me not be sick in the long run. But neither here nor there. So I have to do this on my own. And every time I try to do it, there's something that makes me very ill to the point where I have to stop because I'm so violently sick. I had such a bad blockage in my bowel the one time doing a diet. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, it's just like ridiculous. I know, TMI, sorry. It's just hard. End results of all of this. I know my stickers are here. It's just that it's complicated. It is very complicated when you're really trying and you just get nowhere. And any doctor you talk to about any symptom is always just, well, diet and exercise. Diet and exercise. Well, there have been years where I have dieted and exercise. I was pregnant with my son and I went in to get a checkup, and the nurse was actually the one dealing with me, not like a nurse practitioner, not my actual pediatrician. And I went in and stood on the scale, and her first comment was, just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you need to eat for two. That's literally what this bitch said to me. I was pissed. I was so pissed because at the time I had lost, maybe 97 pounds from vomiting when she made this comment to me. And I was so angry that I literally said, well, I'm sorry, you can look at my chart. I'm sorry that's how you feel or something, but you can look in my chart. Like, I was aggravated. When she saw my chart and saw that I was dropping weight rapidly, I mean, at that point, I think it was only like 5 or 6 months pregnant. So we're only talking 5 or 6 months on this little journey here of pregnancy, and I'm puking my guts out. I want to put this somewhere. I just don't know where. So then she made the apology. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You should probably eat anything that you can keep down. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Like, that's the goal. That is the goal. The goal is to make sure that my baby is healthy. I don't care about me right now. As long as I'm healthy enough to keep him healthy, we're golden. Oh, so aggravated. So aggravated with her. It was, that was one of those moments where I never wanted to go back. I actually have switched doctors because of her. I never wanted to see her again. I was so pissed off with how she treated me. So the plan is, I found these exercise stickers in this like reddish pink. So I'm going to pre-lay them in hopes that those are the days I make it to the gym. I'm debating removing this one and putting it here because I do work late Monday. Tuesday I go to work early because we have meetings. Wednesday I work late. Thursday's another early day. And then the weekend. And this is a long weekend. So actually, I think I may do that. I think we'll try to do something on the days that I'm after work. I might just have my son walk the building with me. He gets dropped off at my school from his school, and he usually stays with me to work. So he can kind of walk around the building. We can just do some, like, try to hit our steps or something walking. I have a very large school that I work at, so we could always do that. My parts down here are so obnoxious. If you have not seen a video before, the two biggest things that I am tracking are medications. I have finally found a doctor that understands the pain I go through and everything with my PCOS, and she gave me an awesome prescription that has drastically helped me. I have no periods, I have no pain, I have no cramps, and actually I have not vomited. So I wonder if from the pain of that was causing those random vomiting bouts. So medication is big. I want to stay on it every day. Plus I take anxiety medication and other medications, so I want to take them every day. And then no Starbucks. My New Year's resolution, after I did the math and realized all of the baristas knew who I was by my face, that I need to go Starbucks sober. That also can contribute to my weight, since like 5,000 calories are in probably my cup of coffee in the morning. So, I think I had to have some water. Medication and no Starbucks are my two biggest things to track this year. So, breakfast is probably most likely going to consist of me making my coffees at home and bringing them with, which is totally fine. I am quite content with that. This is right now about the extent of what my kind of setups are going to look like for this, I think. Down here in this box, I try to just throw in either a quote, something motivational. Monday, I don't know. Monday is going to be the first day back to work. And I'm going to actually trim this down because I'm going to get rid of that white border. My first day back to work, we have a new semester, so I'm going to have all new kids. It is probably going to be a little chaotic. And it's kind of like the first day of school after winter break. We are starting all over. The only positive thing is that most of these kids I've already seen in the building, dealt with them, interacted with them in some way. But in general, I've had all of these kids, well, almost all of these kids, unless they're new to our district, at some point. I'm actually going to put it up here since this is more my symptom section. I'm just going to be positive Nancy here instead of negative Nancy. that hopefully, there's a piece of something on the back there. Hopefully Monday will just be a symptom-free, wonderful day, and I will just be so happy that I'm back to work, that I'm back with my people, my coworkers, and that everything will be lovely. With that said, I was kind of hoping for some sort of a quote down here, maybe. Let's see. I have a lot of books of quotes, or at least what I feel like are quotes. This is probably where I should have gone for my quote at the top, but that's all right. Hoping to find something in just red or black. Coffee o'clock. I'm telling you, me and my coffee. I could also put just a gold. It's just some sort of decoration that needs to kind of fill it in. Oh, these are like too much. They're too thick to hurt my hands. And it's a 3-day weekend, so I'm excited for that. Let's do if not now, then when, because this is week 2. And I feel like sometimes those beginning weeks are just tough. Not always, but actually, maybe I might move this around, because this is looking a little wonky down here. I don't know why that's coming up. Let's plop these off. And let's maybe move those up. Let's maybe take this one off. Oy. Put that one there. All right, we're going to do medication here. And no Starbucks underneath it. And we'll kind of go down. So we've got medication, no Starbucks. Anybody else have a Starbucks addiction? My mom, I thought my mom was going to laugh when I said I was doing no Starbucks for like my resolution. My biggest part of my resolution was the no Starbucks. I have other parts to my resolution. But that was top notch. And she's like, oh, well, why are we crooked? And she's like, if you do no Starbucks, because this is crooked, that's why, you butthole. If you do no Starbucks, I'll do no Pepsi. Well, my parents definitely raised us in a house of high pop drinkers. I never got that gene because it kind of grosses me out. I can drink like my pop with some booze, like as a mixer, but I can't just sit and drink pop. I just can't do it. There's something not so delicious to me about pop. So I used to get that a lot from doctors too. They'd be like, well, cut out your pops. Like, I don't drink pop. I literally only drink water. And I drink a lot of water. I don't know why I'm like on the struggle bus with getting this straight. Okay. If that ain't it, it's going to be it. Because I'm not fighting it anymore. Okay. Now, I think this sticker is going to cut into her. So I'm going to peel her up and move her down. Actually, no, I'm not. I was going to say I could move her down to the bottom. All right, let's take her off. Let's put this one. I didn't realize I had all these boxes with the scallops here. Okay, let's put that one there. I don't even know what that one's for because I will put most likely do my writing here. So I'm not sure that's purpose, but we will keep it. Okay, I thought about keeping that. If not now, then when, but I don't know. Let's put maybe, if not now, then when down here. I like the end of my writing section. Put her over here, and we're going to trim her down because she has a little bit of white there at the bottom. That kind of makes it a little weird. I liked her over here, though, just towards that workout section. She's leaned in that direction, so for me, that's the right way. Okay, now I really need what I started looking for, which was a quote to go next to her. Hopefully in black or red, or even some sort of pinkish. You are your only limit. That's actually a good one. Let's use that one because it's true. I really need to learn to just do things for me. So the whole point for me of my little journaly thing here is just to have something that is motivating enough to keep me, you know, filling it out and coming back. So we are going to mark this as ready to go to be filled in for, I'm going to put this little flag over here, for the second week of, well, third week of January, but the second week of my little health journey here. So that is that. If you enjoyed my quick little, I don't know how quick it was, I don't know what the time is here, but if you enjoyed watching me put that one together, let's go ahead and put it in. So this is my, I've made like a PCOS food list in my health journal. If you have not seen, I actually started a self-care bingo that I tried to make myself. Well, I didn't try. I'm in the process of making myself a little self-care bingo sheet for the year. I'm not going to be too picky on, you know, month or whatever. This was a video where we did my favorite dinners or my family's favorite dinners just as one main sheet to kind of pick from. And then this is the upcoming week that we are about to venture into. So see over here, I did my little thought section just to write out how I'm feeling maybe for the week, my 2 trackers, and then my decor. So then that, oh, you know what I didn't do were my stars at the bottom. Oh, and that's going to be a problem. I didn't realize there was writing there. So I will have to add in my stars at the bottom. So I have a stencil. I knew something looked like it was missing. So I'm stenciling in these stars, and that's how I will rate my day. So on a scale of 1 to 5, did I put in my full amount of effort to stay on track in that day is kind of how I'm doing it. So obviously back here, I have 1s. I really should have just left them blank because I'm not even trying. So there really isn't a 1 star in my opinion. Since I created the sheet and have everything decorated, I didn't want to end up then starting on the 8th because my main sheet, like they're attached here. So either way, it was kind of already attached unless I was going to find another one of these and start over, and I just wasn't doing it. So I figured I'm filling this out regularly, filling it out how we typically eat, with no changes. And I'm just going to track everything as is. Haven't had headaches or anything to write down. I was very anxious, I think Wednesday. I don't really know why. I had a little bit of a rough time sleeping, so I'll have to mark that in. But, so next week, same thing. Keep an eye on tracking my 5 stars. And then same thing for the week after. So I have it ready to go. I just need to plop in my 5 stars at the bottom. But other than that, this week is good to go. Still don't like this. Still think I need to change it out. So we'll see. Maybe there will be some sort of a different sticker here in the photo at the start of the video. But if you stuck around this long, please like, subscribe, share, come back and see me again later. Let me know how you do your meal planning. Maybe there's a better method. I'm kind of really liking this. I'm liking filling it in. I'm liking keeping track of everything. So let me know how it goes for you, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye guys.